Hi guys, and welcome back to Wardle Road. Now it's been about, by the time this goes out, about a month since the last Brake Van Diaries, and just because there hasn't been an episode doesn't mean there hasn't been anything happening. As you'll see at the moment, we're currently not over the pit, and that's because one of the DMU cars is having an emergency oil change, but that hasn't stopped us from making some progress. So before we get into the main part of this video, which is going to be, well, here's a clue. Got an air pipe running all the way up to the brake van at the moment, because we're going to be looking at a needle gun sent to us by Machine Mart. But before that, let's catch you up a little bit with what's been going on, including some of the work on the brackets. You'll see we've got a couple of brackets missing here at the moment and some running boards missing. The brake mechanism is now complete via a couple of split pins and washers that still need to be added, and a couple of little bits painted up. And I'm sure you'll see from the thumbnail and title, bit of a big life moment goal has happened. So what we'll do is I'll show you a little bit of that and catch you up with what's been going on here, and then we'll get into the main part of today's video. But as always guys, if you are enjoying the series, please do hit the thumbs up. If this is your first time here, please subscribe, and if you want to donate or put any money towards some of these projects, I will leave a link top line of the description to the Wagon GoFundMe page. But yeah, other than that, let's get caught up, run the intros and see what we're getting up to today. So hopefully from those clips you'll see we're all caught up. Now, while we're not over the pit, doesn't mean we can't make some progress. And in today's video, while we've got the running boards off and the brackets off, it gives us lots more access to the axle boxes, the springs and the chassis in general. So if you remember a few episodes ago, the guys at Machine Mart sent me an impact wrench. Now, they've sent me a slightly different tool, and one that's hopefully going to help get rid of all the rubbish along the main chassis here, and that is a needle gun. So I've got an air hose all the way down to the brake van. So what we'll do is we'll jump into the workshop, I will show you how to assemble it, and hopefully we'll come out here, get some air running down here and try and clean some of this up. Now, while the brackets and the running boards are off, this gives a perfect opportunity as well to get access to the springs, the axle boxes and any other bits of metal that might be a little bit more difficult to get access to. At some point in the future, I would like to have the wheels done as well, painted, cleaned up and painted, but that's not a priority at the moment. But as I said, in a few episodes time, once we're back over the pit, I will give you a full recap of how we got to the completion of the brake mechanism. So let's jump into the workshop and I'll show you this new tool. Right, and here it is. So this is the Clark Air needle scaler and hammer kit. So obviously it doesn't just come with the needle gun attachment, you can also swap it out for some of these chisels here. So let's open it. Now I have checked it already just to make sure all the parts and everything were there. Here we have it, instructions obviously. Then we've got the 3 chisels, the main gun if you like, and the needle gun attachment. Now from what I can see, the needle gun attachment has 3 grub screws. So once this is attached on there, you then tighten them up and that holds this in place. It also comes with a spring as well, and that holds the chisel pieces in. Right, so the one thing I'm guessing most people have if they're into this kind of job anyway, they probably have a set of adapters, but this didn't come with any adapters. So what I've done is I've just nipped onto the old trusty Amazon and bought a pack of various adapters and connectors for the air intake, and these are the ones that work with the hoses we have here on site. So all I've got to do for that is screw that in the bottom there, and then that's ready to go on the air hose. So then this bit here, I'm guessing, just sits over the top here, screws on like so. So as you can see there, that's now screwed on. I've just got to tighten up those grub screws. Now it does recommend before you start putting a bit of oil in the intake. So what I'll do is I'll take this off, put a little bit of oil in there just to make sure all the internal components here stay lubricated and obviously make it last a little bit longer. Now these are consumable, these needles here, and they can be replaced. However, I'm hoping that we don't get through that much, that many needles today, but we'll see how we get on. So what we'll do now is go get the compressor running, and depending on how noisy it is, I'll talk you through using it outside. So yeah, let's move on. Right, so the other thing that was running in the background was this little experiment here. And what I've done is I've got a giant toolbox, drilled a hole in it so I can drain the water out, and filled it basically with deoxy and an entire tail lamp. So this is after 6 days, and straight away the levels dropped quite a lot because I didn't think that evaporation might actually happen. Considering the hot weather, that's something I should have considered. However, the water is a weird green colour, which is what the bucket of water was like when we've done slightly smaller objects. So, I mean, I can grab it from here, but let's pull this out and see how it's done. Right, and straight away you can see on the left-hand side in there, you might be able to see the different layers of where the water has drained out and the deoxy hasn't been able to get to it for as long. So you can see the different lines there. But I mean, already the inside of that, I don't know how well you can see it on this camera, is extremely shiny and clean, which is fantastic. It looks a lot different from when it came out, when it went in there. So I guess what's left next to do is to start trying to strip off a little bit more of the paint. I just tried to do this just to preserve, as you see at the bottom there, that was completely coated in rust before, and now it looks a lot cleaner. So what I really need to do is make sure that this is a little bit more full next time, so if there is any evaporation it doesn't affect the object. However, just looking at it from here, it is much cleaner. So really pleased with that. Hopefully it means all this mechanism moves a lot more freely now as well, and that can then sit in there. So there is one of them, completely clear of rust, not one drop of rust on that at all. So that can be painted up straight away. And here is the other one, once again, completely clear of any rust at all. So I mean, obviously the longer you leave it in there, the better it works, and as you've seen from the tail lamp there, you need to make sure the item's fully submerged. But yeah, not a drop of rust on that, which is again fantastic. That can be painted up. Right, so I'm going to go and hydrate 80 that buffer housing, and I'm also going to start tidying up. As I said, there's a lot to tidy up today, but I will be back down in a couple of days, and for you, as always, that'll be probably a couple of seconds. So I'll catch you all in a minute. Right, so as you can see, all of the brake mechanism has now been reassembled. Everything's back in. Almost all of it's been treated and painted. Some of it's just needed a little bit of cleaning up. This still needs treating and painting. But basically, I just got it all back on here because, as I mentioned earlier, the DMU needed to come over the pit for an emergency oil change. So I've just reassembled everything. And to my surprise, with some work on the brake wheel, which I'll show you in a second, the brakes now apply and reapply perfectly. So all that's left to do, as I mentioned, I just had to reassemble everything quickly just to get it moving again. But there's still a few bolts that need washers. There's a few split pins that still need to be put in some of the brake blocks. You'll see here that the vacuum through pipe has all been cleaned up, treated and painted, and that runs the whole way through. And that was done by one of the new volunteers down here. And you'll also see that he painted the main bar that runs between this half of the brake mechanism and the rear part as well, and that's all clean. He even done the T-piece as well, and the bit that runs up to the inside of the brake van. So yeah, this, I'd say the brake mechanism is now 99% done, but let me go and explain what we did with the brake wheel. Right, so the final part of getting the brakes to work was to have a look at this wheel, and in particular the screw, the coil that goes down to the rest of the brake linkage. Now, the reason the wheel wouldn't turn too well to start with, if you remember all the way back to episode 1, it was a little bit tight to turn. But what the problem was is because the two inner cross beams and brackets were seized up, it meant that you were never able to fully move the brake mechanism because they were stuck as they were. They wouldn't shift at all, which meant you never ever used the maximum amount of movement on the screw. So what we did is, once they were all loose, we come back up here. Charles gave them a good greasing. We moved them backwards and forwards, moved the wheel a few times, then greased the inside just under here, and now it moves super freely. So that is a real success. So that's all good. That's all good down there. The best thing to do, as Charles and others have recommended, is just keep using this regularly, just to prevent anything seizing up again. Like I mentioned, I still need to do a fair amount of greasing and oiling up of the mechanism underneath the chassis, as well as obviously adding the split pins and washers just to make sure everything is nice and secure. But other than that, the brake mechanism is sort of 99% done. Super pleased that this is all effective. All I've got to do now is take this screw out just to sort out this latch, because it doesn't sit very well and it doesn't move freely enough to run into these grooves. So that's just something we can do at a later date. But for now, it's staying nice and tight. The brakes apply and disengage perfectly. So I couldn't be much happier with that, really. But there is one looming problem that has arisen since I was last down, and you may be able to see it in the corner of the shot there. Let me explain what's gone wrong here. So today was going a little bit too good to be true. The last couple of days I've made some fantastic progress. Like I said, the brake mechanism is doing really well. Really pleased with the progression on that. But then, you may know, well, a couple of days ago we had quite a large rainstorm. It's been quite dry recently, but we had the one day where it was just raining non-stop. And I came into the brake van and noticed a little bit of water had appeared in the bottom of the furnace. So then that got me thinking, well, we've done the roof, what could the issue be? So I had a look up here, I got a crowbar, and started prodding a little bit of the wood round here. And once this bit of wood had fallen out, this is the bit that sits around the chimney, a few rather large wasps came out as well. They were all dead, but part of me thinks I may have accidentally, while doing the roof, trapped the start of what could have been a wasp nest. I'm not entirely sure. If I can find some of the wasps down there, I'll show you. They really are quite big wasps as well, which is not very nice. So I pulled this piece out. I then pulled the piece next to it out and realised that the seal around the top of the chimney that goes to the outside had it lost its seal, basically, lost the sealing effect. So what I've done is I've gone onto the roof and I've just used some roof repair, some roof felt repair, and filled the gap for now. But obviously that's not a permanent fix. So I've then removed the pieces of wood up to where the chimney stops, so I can completely rebuild this section here. And while I'm here, I might actually replace a couple of the other pieces as well. But what I need to do is effectively make 2 new pieces of this. I then need to go to the outside on the roof and remove the sort of housing, if you like, for the top of the chimney, and remake and replace that with a fresh new seal. And hopefully that will resolve the issue. Now, I am a bit concerned as to why there were wasps falling out of here. I don't at any point see any wasps flying around in here, so I wasn't too sure how. Maybe they've been in there for a while, I'm not sure. But either way, the wood in here was completely eaten and rotten away. So this is definitely something, as you can see, there's no good using this. It is basically just simple tongue and groove board, and I've got plenty of it, so rebuilding that section will be no problem at all. However, the issue is going to be rebuilding the outside part and making that nice and watertight. So hopefully that's fixed for now. Now, I've had no other leaks or any issues with the roof, so it can only be one part, which is the part I haven't replaced when working on the roof, which was the seal round the chimney. So that's something that's going to have to be looked at. Right, and as they say on Top Gear, on that bombshell, I think that's where I'm going to leave today's episode. Again, I'm sorry it's a little bit chop and change, just to kind of give you a summary of everything that's been going on in the last, I think the last video was about a month ago for the Brake Van Diaries. So hopefully you're a little bit caught up with what's going on. Hopefully this problem will be resolved in the next few episodes. But like always, if this is your first time here, please do hit the thumbs up and subscribe. If you've got any ideas on how we can fix this or any of the other problems I'm working on the brake van, please do leave me a comment down below. I really do appreciate any feedback, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the first bit of the video as well with the announcement. And yeah, other than that, I will see you all in the next episode.